Hello, good ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Long time no see. Yesterday was Friday, and it was the last day of my working career so far. We may continue the contract later, but anyway, that means only one thing. Playing Jules is back.
Playing with my Sagan. It's time to master.
Yes, the intro. Since I've been away from you people, I've obviously made some homebrewed wine here. And how unthinkably rude of me it is to make something this tasty and good without testing its quality. And in this case, the quality means amount of alcohol in it. And obviously, we all know how that is best to be tested with. By driving, of course, yes. 10 points there. And furthermore, since I've been known to give you only the latest news of the latest games and the hardest of hardware that gaming is concerned, let me give you this. The Xbox, the first one, not the Xbox One, well anyway, you know the drill. It has been in a storage for quite some time now. I'm gonna plug it in now, and then we'll see whether if it works or not. That one goes there, yes. Power. Let's try it on. It's 50-60 whether it works or not. Haha. Wonderful. The picture is fairly crappy. I hope it's better through the lens. But anyway, programs and games. This is obviously all very legally obtained games here. Actually, I bought this from a friend, so there we go. This game, of course, is Forza Motorsport, as you can see there. What we are going to do, we're gonna take free run, which allows us to choose any track and any car of the game. We take hot lap, and of course we take Nürburgring Nordschleife. And how we test the quality of the alcoholic beverage in question is I've measured at 3 deciliters of it. Yes, 3 deciliters is about there in the glass, and I drink 3 of those glasses, and then I'll drive 1 revolution of this circuit. Nürburgring Nordschleife. It's obviously a very long track. It was something of, let's check it out actually. It's 20.99, so it's 21 kilometers roughly long, and it shall take me, well, obviously I'm gonna take from Class D the Honda Civic Type R vehicle, which I have been driving it before. I haven't touched this very console in about 3 or 4 years or something like that, so these are old times. But anyway, there's 945.5, 945.7 and 947.0 are the Civic Type R times there. I have managed Mitsubishi FTO, if you can see, it's 9.43.3 at some point, but I'm gonna take the Type R, and there are my control times. I should, like I said, I haven't been driving this in very long time, so I should get around 10 minutes a lap, even whilst a little bit drunk. So those are my times, to control times, the times that I have to beat. I'm gonna drink 3 glasses, so it's 9 deciliters of delicious homebrewed wine. Actually, my little sister collected the berries, and she ordered the drink from me. And it's nearly all gone now. But anyway, it's this Civic Type R, black of course, and we are gonna take all the driver aids off, except perhaps anti-lock brakes, because the Type R they are. And there's also traction control, the Type R I suppose, but you can switch it off, but anti-lock brakes you cannot switch off. So I shall drink 3 glasses here, and then I shall drive. It's a hot lap, so I have to collect the speed. I have to reverse down the track far enough so I can get the full speed on the start line there when it starts eventually. And then head back. Here we go then. This is class number 3, and I just decided after drinking the first 2 glasses that I can drink this on a go, sort of. It's packs quite a punch, this, quite a wallop as they would say somewhere, I don't know. And about 220 kph across the finishing line, and I think I'll remember this track. Well, I know this track, yes. It's a messy business, very messy business now. But it doesn't matter. What does matter actually a little bit is that I should indeed have the proper steering wheel controller. But anyway, I think I'll manage. A little bit cutting the line there. Yes, there we go. I mean, after those first 2 classes, it was just tongue doesn't turn in my mouth, and my arms are getting a bit numb, and all the rest of it, it's just. So I might drink this one as I go. So bear with me if I take little sipping breaks here and there. No, this controller is just stupid. Every time you move your thumb on the slightest, it just veers off like it should, because if you move your thumb into the other end of the stick, it means that many revolutions of the steering wheel in real life, so it's gonna be a bit twisty. So let's just focus a little bit. Here we go, a little bit too much braking, yes, a lot too much braking, and a crappy line over there. So I'm not going to be able to get this, I suppose, under 10 minutes. I've been forgetting to drink. This beverage is made mostly out of blueberries, but there are some currants in it, black and red ones. And about this game, I've been talking about this alcoholic beverage, which is obviously the main thing on these videos and in the life in general, to be fair. But anyway, in this game, because you do want to know about the games that are older than you are, I suppose. Well, when I say older than you are, people who are watching currently, I think, Ariku and Aatu, hello there, chaps. And anyone else, if you are watching, if you want to know about games that are 20 years plus old. This should have a proper cockpit view, so you can see the dashboard and wrong line, completely wrong line. No worry, the ABS will rescue. Yes, there we go. I've forgotten this. It's all going terribly wrong currently, but anyway. Sorry. Actually, that reminds me. It's actually cheating, putting the game in pause whilst you have a sip, because you should drink whilst you drive, but since I have got this controller and my right arm is operating the accelerator pedal down here on the trigger, if I had the steering wheel controller, I can just put my right foot down and control it with one hand, the steering wheel, and then just have a sip. But since we are playing this now on this stupid thing here, it's not gonna happen, so what else should I say about this game? The graphics, yeah, they are 20 years plus old or something, but once again we come to the point that I'd much rather have a crappy looking game than the game that is not realistic to drive. And in that front, well, this is sort of halfway, I suppose. It is, I suppose not, as that was terrible done, very terribly done. I think it is called a carousel, that corner. I don't know, but anyway, in that front, I think Gran Turismo is more realistic to drive than this is, because I've driven this track in a Gran Turismo and it's much less wide. It's narrower, that is the word. Sorry, narrower is the word than in here. And what I've seen in real world, I mean, in Top Gear, where Jeremy Clarkson drives this on a diesel jack thing. Anyway, in that, I think it did seem much narrower than it is in here. So, what was this corner? There it was. I think in this game it is a bit wider than it. Damn it! No! Get back on the track for a little green bang. No. Now that's gonna play in my head for the rest of this evening. But anyway, this in this game, I think this track is too wide. And I think the same goes to say in this behavior of these cars. I mean, they are fairly realistic. I sort of recognize what they are doing, and no, well, that was too slow. But anyway, sort of realistic, but sort of still just making it a little bit soft and a little bit safe for this controller. I mean, it's just those little things that add up. But perhaps one day I can get my hands on a PlayStation or something like that, and I can try this on Gran Turismo. But on Gran Turismo I don't have reference points like I do have on these, which are the previous records that I have been playing. No, that was awful. Well, there we go. But anyway, let's see. Last corners, I should fly through these ones so I can get the most speed available in the finishing straight, which is where, yes. This is bloody hard job with this controller, because you have to be so gentle with the inputs, because it's just movement should be so immature, so medium. Not medium. Minimum, that is the word. Sorry, I haven't been speaking English in quite some time, so it's a bit rusty, that one as well. And it seems the driving is rusty as well, because there we go. 11 point something, and there was some that penalty time. It was but the 11 is the time that it records, and in the 11 it's on those reference times. There is the penalty time as well. But anyway, now I shall wait and drink 2 more glasses because I think it is sufficient enough on this substance. Rather more potent than I remembered or expected. But it's a good thing because when I say I made this quite some time ago, and it's nearly been gone. So this is sort of wrong way to do this because I used to first test this quality and then start to consume it. But better late than never, I suppose. I shall get back to you after some more glasses of this. See you. Here we go then. Glass number 5. Accelerate down and resume. Apologies where apologies are due. I forgot to turn on the lights therefore in the previous clip, so sorry for that. Now yes, much better. Better, yes. That was worse. Anyway, I'm gonna try to focus now on a driving front because on a previous clip I sort of made clear what is good in this game and what is not. So no more of that nonsense. Let's just make this a good lap so we can be scientific about this. No, we cannot. But at least try. Couple of corners won't matter because the track is so long, so sorry. This is actually, now that I have had more than a few of those, actually now is the good time to drink more than a few of these. Glasses, it's just rather potential stuff. Resume. Which button is it? Select A. Yes. Here we go. There we go. There's the breaking point. No, it was too early still. There we go. That's just rather annoying with this paddle thing. There we go. That's the correct way. Little bit too early, I suppose, because I hit the wall there. That was badly made. Have no remembrance of this one. There was a time when I could do those complex of those corners flat out pretty much, but those days are gone, I suppose. That was a complete and utter ruination of this. Was there braking or wasn't there braking? I've completely forgotten about this track. Just shift down and get off the bloody thing, gravel, and then in and all in, accelerate. I'm going smoothly as hell, and smoothly as hell is the answer. Now is the good time to sip. don't change into 6th. Well, perhaps you should. There's still somewhat downhill there. No, it isn't. Now it starts to climb. Damn it. Damn it. I lost valuable. There we go. Under 11. It's the best so far. I shall check the recordings if I can make any sense of the readings on the screen there. In the recordings, so I can still make some timetable for you there. So I can lose the penalty seconds because they are just annoying and boring and stupid. Just utterly stupid. If you miss the apex of the corner, or if you drive your car fully off the grass, it's just the corner is already lost. You shouldn't have any penalty points on it because it's just ruined otherwise. Anyways, the track, the lap of the track is ruined otherwise. Well, there you see. This is 5th class, so it's 5 times 3. That many deciliters of this substance. I'm too drunk to do the math. And I do have to say I had a rather long day in the forest, already chopping down firewood, so I'm not in my full prime right now. But anyway, this is not the test of the manhood, this is the test of this gorgeous alcoholic beverage. I shall get back to you after a couple more glasses. Sorry. I shall need a bucket for monsieur. So this is a 5th or something, or glass, 6th perhaps. And I'm utterly wasted. So it's time now for another lap. Like I said, I'm utterly wasted. I can feel it just in every single fiber of my body that just way too fast in. As well as in there as well, but other thing about this particular game is that you don't seem to get a sort of sense of control that you had in those previous games that I have played. Perhaps it is due to the controller, because this is just utter rubbish to play driving train games through such stupid controller such as this, because you should have the proper steering wheel and what have you. But anyway, we have to make do what we have, as it is said by the old folks. Too much speed. And yes, I suppose this would have been much more interesting if I have chosen a bit more powerful car from a other class of motor vehicles, but since I have been playing this mostly with this Type R Civic and these D-class vehicles, so it's only proper that I use them in here as well. If we take these ones smoothly. go in through that. Yes. Perhaps now I start to remember how to take these corners. Except this one. So I'm sorry, this is not very scientific. This is just sort of when you remember the corners properly. Sort of gaming video nonsense, but anyway. And it has to be said, I have forgotten to drink on this lap, so perhaps this is rather intense now. Start line is approaching fast. And in it, yes, I made it much faster than the previous one, so. But I don't know what that means. Slowly, other people and pedestrians, children and whatnot, there's some sort of social no-no on driving over them under the influence. So, and although there are too many people on the world as it is, just don't drive over anyone. Anyway, enough of that drivel. I shall see you again after a couple more drinks. This one and the next one. I don't know about you guys, but since I nearly throw up after that last glass of that wine, although it is tasty beverage, but it is wine nonetheless, and there is more of that currant than there is that blueberry, so it's a bit of an acidic sort and it doesn't just agree with my stomach. So I switched to this lager instead. But anyway, I have drinking some amount of that wine thing. So I suppose this is just as scientific as the time measurements are. Bear with me. We shall go. Perfect. What is that all about? No, but this is going all straight to hell. Yeah, there we go. That's a good thing about front wheel drive. You can just switch into smaller gear and floor it, and physics will just sort of sort them out for you. Only thing that this paddle thing is just too hectic, as I've said billion times before, but yes, now my reactions are way off. It's just to do it. Well, I can presume that we can end this playing Jules on this lap, because I cannot consume more of that home brewed wine. Let's just see what happens here. Nothing fully exciting, it's just 10 something. Yes. Thanks for joining in. It was jolly pleasant of me. Wine was hilariously strong, way toasted right now. And as of the lap times and the scientific part of this experiment, as I would like to call it. But I'm sorry, it just isn't one. It's just utter rubbish, isn't it? It's just a little bit here and there. I should have had the knowledge of the track or decent lap times on the board there before, but I didn't have. Once more, this controller, it's just, it doesn't matter if you are drunk or just smear panic. If you move this, for instance, a couple of millimeters down there, it's just too much to react on the real world. You just have to have a feel for the controller, and more to the point, every single time that I have made these videos, I have complained about the single fact of the matter that the controller is not actually physically contained into the process of turning the wheels. It is there's no physical connection between you as a driver and the car, and I suppose that is rather impossible to create anyway. But with these kinds of controllers, it's just so much more plain, because there's the movement of the controllers is so limited. But anyway, enough of those things. I had fun. I shall drink a little bit of more and drink a little bit of more. Good night. Now that we have done all the sciencey bit sort of out of the way, let's see if we can have some fun with this game.